You understand? And that is a major incentive for them not to meter their customers.
But customers are not interested in paying estimated bills anymore.
Will you? Are you ready to pay estimated bills? That's the question.
Okay, let me ask this other question.
Nobody is ready to pay estimated bills. I want to pay for what I consume.
NEC one time said that nobody is supposed to pay for the prepaid meter. They're supposed to be free. So, are you guys ready to give out the meters to Nigerians so that you can, over time, because the idea was that over time the monies will be paid.
Let me tell you one thing. See, that's a problem.
I guess a disco is paying them.
That is a problem I mentioned earlier, you know. I'll call it negative government policies. You know, because how can they come out that consumers should not pay for meters and that only, the discos should pay for me when there was no money to do so? That actually,
there's no money to do so.
The discos, they have money.
Hold on. You say they don't have money, but they are. You say here also that they are making money from estimated billing. So if they are making money from estimated billing, can't they use that to pay for the meter?
No. And anyway, the meter does not belong to the consumer.
No, it belongs to the
disco. So why should the consumer pay? You see, it belongs to the disco.
That was what informed that policy. But when the reality came in that they didn't have money to buy meters, that was when the policy, they came up with a scheme called CAPME. That's credit advance implementation, where the consumer will provide money to buy meter, and then the money will be refunded back to the consumer over a period of time. You know, it's
Mr.
obvious
Ajero,
that...
Is that doable?
Well, it's doable, you know. It's doable if you check even the old policy of this mechanical whatever. You know, those meters belong to government. And then if there is a model, you know, if you consume 20 naira this month, it's like you are billed 15 naira. You know, in that order, after a period of time, you would have offset the money you used in buying the meter.
Okay.
It's possible, it's a possible option. But you see, like he said, I don't see why you should hand over the sector to the private sector without metering the country. That should have been the first policy.
Okay.
Yeah, you meter the consumers before you hand it over to the new investors, if you want to. Or else, no new investors, sorry, my sister, would like to apply the system of using meter. Because if they apply, it's like receiving half of the money they are receiving now. If they start, if you introduce prepaid metering today, you know, those of them getting 2 billion a month may be getting 1 billion.
That much?
Yes.
Mr. Suppose the meters are rented out to consumers and they pay a rental every month, as opposed to them bringing bulk money. I know that a three-phase meter, prepaid meter, costs about 55,000. So suppose I don't have 55,000. Does that mean I'm not going to have a meter?
No, there are two options there, really. You can get your meter through CAPME scheme, or wait for the discos to actually implement their meter rollout scheme. So if you don't have the money and you have to wait, that's the second option.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I know that they're metering some areas. Well, I have read that they say they're metering some areas and they're rolling out meters. But I have written personally since May last year for a meter for my office, and I still haven't got it. In fact, I was forced to do a note this week. Do I have to beg for a meter?
Well, I believe it's the disco that will answer that question. You don't have to, but I believe they have their own rollout scheme, which actually it depends. They have particular areas that they will meter at a particular point in time. At least that's the difference. That's the excuse I got from them. But they're in a better position to address that issue.
Okay, we've had the discourse here several times talk about this meter issue. Before I come to Mr. Ajero, one of the things you talk about is the fact that apart from the bypass, that it's easier to bypass meters made in Nigeria, is also the fact that the meters manufactured here are of low quality. Some of them could melt in the course of electricity transfer.
Well, I don't agree. That is a lie. I don't agree with that. We've been rolling out meters for the past 12 years, over 10 years.
We've been rolling out, and where have they been going? Where are you supplying
to
it?
old PSCN. You know, we are the advent of prepaid meter in this country, and which started 2004.
So you were supplying meters to the old PHCN?
Yes, we were.
So how is it that now the discos feel that your meters are not good enough for them?
I've not heard any disco complain about my meters. That's a fact.
Are all the prepaid meters in the country made here?
Not all.
Or some are imported?
Yes, our prepaid meters, we started making them since 2012 here in Nigeria. But
you
others
used to
are
import?
imported. We used to import before.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sadio, the situation now, a lot of Nigerians are already, indeed, they are not too happy with the situation. For them, it's about power and then charges, not charges before power. But you said you spoke about this before the privatization process, and now that your colleagues went out to the streets to complain about the effects, is that the best thing to have done?
For the new investors? Well, I think if you go into the economics of producing power, and that's where I wanted some of my colleagues to look at, you find out how much it costs to generate a watt. And then if you now do it, you'll be in a better position to say whether the investors or the new people should be Father Christmas. I think it's important we look at it from that perspective. Because I told you that I was not going to just swallow the position of those of us who insist, and of course I still belong to that family, that this price must come down. But that is a government policy. You know, through NEC, we can still see that the minister is defending it. You know, that if it's under government control, through fiat, you can say no, for kilowatts hour you can't charge less more than this. And that will take place. But the reality on ground, unless the process is reviewed, the reality on ground is that if you equally invite the companies here, you can verify how much it costs to generate this power. Now, in such a situation, do you continue to take government subvention for government to say, oh, we are going to pay this cost, these are millions of naira monthly, so that they charge you 50%, so that the customers will pay less? There must be a way out. And that's the point at which I still insist that power should be controlled by the state. In fact, at least at the level of generation. Okay. Because if you don't generate, you will not distribute, you will not transmit.
So right now that generation is in the hands of the private sector. For instance, they've increased generation to about 5,000 megawatts. You think that's not good enough? Before now, they never got to that point.
You see,
when it was under government, they didn't get to that point.
You mix this thing up. Which power station was built? That's somebody play with figures. That it has gone up, it has gone down. The same way in the next 2 months or 3 months, they will still tell it's to 3,000. So what is leading to fluctuation? You need to find out this. You know, but if anybody is telling you that he has built a power plant between 2013 to date, the person is a liar. The gestation period is about 4 years. And I've not heard that one is being built. So it has even gone high.
The small PPs.
If it has even gone high, if it has even gone high, that's the more reason, you know, even the price should come down. Because if you were making 2 billion before, and now generation has gone up, you know, based on estimated billing, you still factor it into the real billing, and then you make your profit. So tomorrow somebody would still tell you that it has gone to 10,000 megawatts. Meanwhile, there's no supply in my house. I think the reality of it is that if there is supply in our houses, we say we are going to pay, but we want to know what we are supposed to pay.
Exactly.
That is what
Mr. Redola, I'm sure that Nigerians will not mind paying for power.
No.
But I'm asking you now as a consumer yourself, Do you not think that 45% increase is a bit much?